9B6A62 BEF 52 FE 311431 DBAF.JPGQ.28. The non-cooperation movement and the Kilevat agitation represented a new stage in the national movement. Elaborate. TLP Phase I, GS1 Compilation 2018 Type Text Page 53 Introduction. Kilevat agitation and non-cooperation movement. It was a countrywide movement. This movement was started by Ali brothers, Muhammad Ali and Shuko Ali, in order to show their agitation to the government as the Muslims/Turkey were ill-treated. The Muslims' religious leader Khalif lives there, so the Indian Muslims wanted to show their support through their agitation. Therefore, this movement in Indian history is called Kilevat movement. By clubbing Kilevat movement with the non-cooperation movement, there was a growth of Hindu-Muslim unity. This made the Indians fearless. The politically conscious Muslims were critical of the treatment meted out to the Ottoman or Turkish Empire by Britain and its allies, who had petitioned it and taken away Thrace from Turkey proper. The Congress supported Gandhi's plans for non-cooperation with the government till the Punjab and Kilevat wrongs were removed and Swaraj established. Events that changed the face of national movement. During these movements, the Congress leaders, including Lokmanya Tilak and Mahatma Gandhi, viewed the Kilevat agitation as a golden opportunity for cementing Hindu-Muslim unity and bringing the Muslim masses into the national movement. The Congress leaders realized that different sections of the people, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs and Christians, capitalists and workers, peasants and artisans, women and youth, and tribes and peoples of different regions, would come into the national movement through the experience of fighting for their own different demands and seeing that the alien regime stood in opposition to them. The years 1921 and 1922 witnessed an unprecedented movement of the Indian people. Thousands of students left government schools and colleges and joined national schools and colleges. Hundreds of lawyers, including Chittaranjan Das, popularly known as Dish Bandhu Motilal Nehru, and Rajendra Prasad, gave up their legal practice. The Swaraj Fund was started to finance the non-cooperation movement, and within 6 months, over a crore of rupees were subscribed. Women showed great enthusiasm and freely offered their jewelry. Huge bonfires of foreign cloth were organized all over the land. Khadi soon became a symbol of freedom. In July 1921, the All India Kilevat Committee passed a resolution declaring that no Muslim should serve in the British Indian Army. TLP Phase I, GS1 Compilation 2018 Type Text Page 54. However, these movements are not devoid of negative effects. There are some events which took place, like the communal elements took advantage of the situation to propagate their views, and after 1923, and the country was repeatedly plunged into communal riots. The Muslim League and the Hindu Mahasabha, which was founded in December 1917, once again became active. The result was that the growing feeling that all people were Indians first received a setback. Best answered, Maximus https://uploads.disquscom.com/images/1571 cf 1773 e12109 c to Bob or f65 d45 b053 a76 a3085 e 22708 b1 e010702834 b6 boldface 7.jpgq.29 had gone IG not withdrawn the civil disobedience movement, India would have achieved freedom much earlier. Do you agree? Critically comment. Approach, introduction, a brief on what CDM was about, its phases. Analyzing if India would have achieved independence had the movement would not have been withdrawn, a critical analysis is required. Conclusion. Introduction. Civil disobedience movement 1930 to 1934 had two phases. One before Gandhi-Irwin Pact and second after Second Party C. Because of signing of Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Gandhi agreed to discontinue civil disobedient movement. After Gandhi went on to attend Second Party C but returned disappointed. Unfortunately, the conference ended on a sad note, as many of the demands put forward by the Indians were not accepted. Gandhi returned to India to find most of the leaders in jail. This led him to start the second phase of the civil disobedience movement in 1932. On the announcement of the Communal Award by Ramsay MacDonald on 16 August 1932, the strength and pace of the civil disobedience movement began to decline. This led to its gradual dismissal until finally it died out and was officially withdrawn in April 1934. India would have achieved freedom much earlier. TLP Phase I, GS1 Compilation 2018 Type Text page 55. It is argued by many that India would have achieved independence then only, as people's might to fight against foreign power was at its peak. But a fair understanding of reasons behind the withdrawal shows it's naive to think that non-withdrawal would have led to freedom. Withdrawal was necessary. Mass movement can't last forever as people have limited capacity to sacrifice and limited strength to struggle. It was part of truth struggle strategy. Violent clashes among the police and people happened at several places. Example: when Abdul Ghaffar Khan was arrested in April 1930, angry crowds demonstrated and protested in the streets of Peshawar. Many were killed during the police firing. The government thus responded with the policy of brutal repression. Under such circumstances, Gandhi once again adopted the strategy of truth struggle. International scenario was also not in favor of India. Britain was much powerful then, unlike after World War II. Conclusion: the point that CDM movement would not have been withdrawn, we would have achieved independence soon, is not a rational one. The withdrawal was strategic and was planned step based on the situation of that time. Best answered, https://